How's it going, everyone? My name is Phoenix Hunter and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are playing Hearts of Iron 4, another PDX game that I am completely addicted to. I'd have to say out of all the PDX map games, Hearts of Iron is my favorite. Even though Europa Universalis is the one that I play the most, Hearts of Iron just has a soft spot in my heart because I really love the war system. It's just so fleshed out and I love it. In today's video, I think I'm going to be going for an achievement that a lot of people say is really hard, but I'm going to convince you that it's really easy. Go ahead and make Macau my day achievement, the one where you need to play as Portugal and then critic collab in China. It's a fairly easy achievement. I've done it a long time ago before they reworked the combat width and logistics and supply and whatnot. And I've also done it a few times afterwards. But today I'm just going to be going a video showing off my strategy. If you guys want to use this as a guide, I'll explain the basic ideas. But yeah, without further ado, I'm not going to play on Iron Man mode because I don't need to. There aren't really a lot of achievements that I can get that I haven't gotten already. So yeah, alright, here we are in the game. We are the lovely state of Portugal with some problems, but we'll get those worked out. And this is a really bad spirit that we need to get rid of before we really do anything, before we, intervene in our Spanish neighbors. But for now, we're going to start up here with these icons. Research, we only have 2 research slots, so we're going to be going for construction and research. We're doing construction because we obviously start with a debuff. We only start off with 2 spots, so we need to maximize the amount of research that we get. Next, for civies, I'm going to build 1 infrastructure here, and then I'm going to max the civilian factories. Now for dockyards, we are going to, for now, build convoys. This icon doesn't really matter. National focus, Estado Novo. All these units we're going to convert to cavalry, and then we're going to send them down here to Portuguese Guinea. I'm going to put them in this province and not this one because this is a jungle and the attrition will be pretty terrible. This, I'm just going to turn off all these icons. They're rather pointless right now. We're not going to worry about this, and I think I'm just going to... Actually, no. I'm not going to import anything because we need these civilian factories to build these things. Alright, and the other thing is that I'm just going to delete my Air Force. And I'm going to be doing some shenanigans. I'm also going to merge up my fleet and then exercise them so that we can build a better destroyer to produce. And yeah, we're just going to unpause and see what happens. Okay, now that all my units are here, I'm going to start consolidating a few of them. Another thing, before I forget, we're going to want to put the garrisons and all these things on max priority, and then we're going to want to go into here, swap this to civilian oversight, primarily for the less required garrisons, but also we need to build compliance as fast as possible, and you'll see why in a bit. And just like that, all of our cavalry units are fully strength, and now we can go on to some shenanigans. We're gonna go into the market and then we're just going to sell all this equipment. We're gonna max out the amount of equipment we're selling, put it on a high price, and then yeah, we're just gonna add it to the market. And we're also gonna go ahead and exercise these guys. So with this focus done, you're probably wondering what path they're gonna be going. Frankly, there's only one path you can go when you play Hearts of Iron, and that's monarchist. You know we had to. So for our first advisor, I'm going to go with this guy because he gives us research and civilian factory construction. Later on, we're going to be getting this guy. He's basically going to be our silent workhorse for the game. Because of all that construction bonuses that we're getting, we're able to finish that infrastructure slightly faster. So now we're going to be building these civilian factories a lot faster now. Alright, I wasn't paying attention, but we got the amount of naval experience that we need. So next thing we're gonna do, go in here, put a couple of these on, and one of these. Apply an MIO, and save. And then this is going to be the destroyer that we're going to start building. And because we're going to be producing these ships, we have a bit of a steel shortage. So I think I'm going to go ahead and import just one steel and prioritize it for the destroyer, so that way we aren't getting as bad penalties. Royal wedding done. Duarte is going to come back. The monarchy is back in fashion, boys. And also, we're going to get this guy, because he's pretty good. This focus is going to unlock a few decisions over here. We're just going to ignore all that. It is not necessary for what we plan to do. And there goes the Spanish Civil War. Who's gonna win? Brown Spain or Orange Spain? Place your bets in the comments below. Anyway, let's get on to the next thing. Now let us declare the Empire of Brazil. This is going to cause some really fancy things to happen. So we managed to get enough naval XP to unlock one of these bad boys. I plan on going with Marines because one of our targets is going to be these guys, the UK and Japan. So we're going to need that extra naval support, naval invasion stuff. Okay, so there's the Empire of Brazil, and oh no, they've started a little civil war. I guess we should probably intervene. I don't know. We'll just ship all these guys over. Assign a general. This guy isn't too good, but he'll do for now. I'll get this guy, because why not? Just tell these guys to get over here and get to the front lines as fast as possible. There we go. Now that we're here, we're just pretty much going to tell these guys to rush for the victory points. It is absolutely imperative that these guys rush down every single victory point that these guys have. And also, in the name of maximizing, your civilian factory usage, I recommend you wait until the fuel reserves get like super low before you start importing some fuel. I recommend you import it from one of these guys, so that way the civilian factory doesn't get to someone you don't want. I'm also going to tell these guys to push aggressively. Just take as much land as possible. And there we go. That was like really, really quickly. All you need to do is just rush down all their victory points and they can't do anything about it. So in this peace deal, we're just going to steal all their ships. We're not going to take any land because this is all rightful Brazil play and it's going to be ours later on. So yeah, we're just going to take that. Now we're going to ship all of our troopers back home. We're not going to convert these guys just yet. We're going to wait for a few things to happen before we do that. Alright, just like that, we are now officially a monarchy with Senor Dom Duarte Nuno. So yeah, now we got the monarchy back in Portugal and the monarchy back in Brazil. So there's only one thing left to do. Unite them. Alright, now this focus is done. Let's see what they say. And there we go. Brazil is unified. We are now the United Kingdom of Portugal and Brazil. Let's go, dude. I'm not going to go down this side just yet because we don't need to intervene in Spain. So instead, I'm going to go down here and try and get a few research slots. And also, because we integrated Brazil, we now have a pretty sizable army. I'm going to go in here, take a look at their templates. Okay, I'm just going to stick with this one because it's got basically everything I want. The only thing we need to add is some artillery, and once we get it, some anti-air. I'm just going to rename these bad boys, which you definitely should. We also have a bigger civilian industry, so I'm just going to build more civies And now we also have some more mills, so I'm going to start a production of these bad boys. Yes, we're going to need a lot of artillery. We're going to need a decent amount of anti-air. We're also going to need some support equipment. So yeah, this is going to be our production line, and because of that, we're also going to need to import a lot more steel. And I'm also going to go in here and try and sell off some of these old planes. I don't plan on using them. Yeah, I really like the international market because it helps you like early on with like early game build up and stuff. And while we're also waiting on these bad boys, we're going to be training a few more. We're also, before I forget, we should, once we get some enough command power, we should also send an attaché to China. Alright, now here's a rather important series of events. So for my strategy, I am going to collab the Raj. I am not going to collab any of these guys. Nope, nope, and nope. And I am going to collab China. So just like that, we have a government of India with this guy. And we also have a government of China with this guy. A rather good leader, if I might say. So this is completely up to you, but I personally prefer to go Professional Officer Corps for that bonus to army experience. Also going to go ahead and start investing in an intelligence agency. And with this additional research slot, I'm first off going to research some trucks. Also going to go ahead and expand this division a little bit more. I'm not sure if this is the ideal template for whatever patch we're on, but this is what I'm going to deal with. Nationalist Spain requests aid. Yeah, I don't think you need it, buddy. Okay, so one of the rather unfortunate things that happened is that even though Nationalist Spain won the war, they didn't flip to the right ideology, so that means we're gonna have to justify them and cause world tension, and yeah, simply put, it's not fun sauce. So we're just going to do this, get all these. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get the free Wargle on them, but oh well. I'm also using these extra research slots to prepare myself for war and get some planes. Alright, got some free civvies. I think I'm gonna build a few dockyards down here in Brazil, because we're gonna need quite a bit of dockyards. I think for now, let's just build like 10 dockyards or something. Because we didn't get that free Wargle, we're gonna have to wait for world tension to spike. So yeah, until then, we're just pretty much gonna need to build up. As mentioned previously, we're going with Marines. And for land doctrine, we're going superior firepower. I'm gonna pump out a few of these Marines. This is the template that I'm going for these Marines. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's any good. It's just, this is what I used in my testing, and it kind of worked. So yeah. So typically when it comes to air doctrine, I go for strategic destruction. But I think I'm going to go operational integrity. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because my Air Force will be... I have higher quality planes than the AI. But yeah, I like to experiment with things like that. Another thing I'm definitely going to need is military police. This will also further reduce the amount of garrisons that I'm going to need, especially when we intervene in a certain someone. Now, here's something funny that we can do. With the Officer Corps, we have this, which allows us to get certain traits that makes our Marines a lot better. So what we're going to do is go in here, and we're just going to try and roll a few guys, see what happens. And that's absolutely not good. Let's roll a few more of these guys. I mean, that's not a bad infantry guy, but I need one for my Marines. Alright, let's go a few more of these guys. Okay, fairly soon things are gonna happen, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And so that way we get rid of this national spirit. And I think that in the name of getting up my stockpiles, I'm going to buy a couple of weapons off of the old marketplace. Because, yeah, look at all these bad boys. They got all these guns and stuff that I can use. I don't necessarily need the best ones, I just need the most. And with all that, our equipment stockpiles should be fixed relatively shortly. It is going to put a bit of a hamper on our economy, but I'm just going to eat that for now. All we need is one more world tension, and then we can get our stuff going. And there we go. And there we go. Now we can justify for these guys. It's going to take a little bit, but ooh. And this guy's pretty interesting. We got the Invader and Brilliant Strategist perk. So that means not only can this guy, you know, command our Marines, but he can also potentially be a field marshal. Alright, now that Paris is about to be dead, I think I'm going to stop trading with them and instead trade with these bad boys. Okay, so the justification for these guys are done. They have a relatively weak army. We have a slightly better army, so yeah. Alright, so I guess, yeah, we might as well just declare on these bad boys. Put up the Air Force, let them do a little bit of damage. So the main thing that we're going to want to do is to create just pockets and encirclements. Just push over the line when and where we can. In an ideal situation, these guys would be the brown ideology, so the strategy would be you complete this focus, and then that will immediately give you a war goal on them. Then you just declare as soon as they finish up the Civil War. Another thing I need to do before I forget is hire all these boys. The artillery expert, the infantry guy. This should give us a bit of an edge in combat. And yep, this war is almost won. As you can see, pretty much the name of the game, whenever you play, doesn't matter what nation you're playing or what situation you're in, it's just try and get as many encirclements, destroy as many of their divisions as possible. And yeah, that's how you go for an easier time. Yeah, and because we've been destroying all these divisions, right? There's so many gaps in the front line that we can exploit and expand. Oh, and they already capitulated. Let's go. I'm just going to take all their land and then take their navies. Alright. And just like that, 1940, we got all this land. So that means we need to act rather fast. We got to capitulate the UK and get everything and get the Allies all sorted before the United States join. So to expedite the process, I'm going to send these guys down here to take care of the South American areas, and I'm just going to have the rest of the guys that are up here that are still in Iberia just prepare a naval invasion. Also gonna go ahead and recruit a few more of these guys. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and justify on the United Kingdom. Let's just justify for Gibraltar. But something that I should have done a little bit earlier is start making a couple of submarines. once these few destroyers are done, I'm going to be transitioning to subs. Alright, I believe that now is as good a time as any to declare this war. Let us declare the war. Now we are at war with the allies. First order of business is to come down here, destroy all these bad boys, and simultaneously join this old faction. One of the things we're going to want to do down here is try and push all these guys out. Before I forget, I should also go Morb economy and extensive construction. And in case you're wondering, I have a mod that replaces all the economy laws with a Morbius joke. Yes, it is 2023, and I think that meme is still hilarious. It's Morbin time. Another thing that we're going to want to do is to try and get a quick CB off on these guys, because these guys are going to be very important to my plans. Okay, I think we've gotten pretty lucky, because I can just launch this naval invasion straight up. So yeah, let's do it to them. I'm just gonna tell these guys to come back here, get a few things prepared. Alright, we're landing in Cardiff, and we should take this no problem. Yeah, because these Marines, they do a lot of damage, and we're also attacking one singular division. There we go. We are officially in business. We gotta tell these guys to attack aggressively. Tell these guys to get over here, and then these guys to get over here. And yeah, just tell these guys to expand aggressively, hopefully capture an airfield. Oh, another thing we should do before I forget is call in this guy and this guy. This guy's gonna die immediately, but oh well. His sacrifice would not have been in vain. Alright, now that we got ourselves an airfield, let's tell these guys to just aggressively pound the English. And yes, that is exactly the word that I want to use to describe what we're going to do to these guys. Aggressively pound. Alright, here comes the Axis with all their troopers. The Axis's primary purpose for me is to just fill out the line a little bit, so that way I don't need to commit as many troops, and London is open. These guys should fall relatively shortly. Oh, and there's the capitulation. So, what we're interested in taking Gibraltar for ourselves. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give Guangzhou and Hong Kong to our Chinese vassal. And then we're going to give all this Indian territory to our Indian vassal. And yeah, that's pretty much... And yeah, that is why we released the Chinese and the Indian peoples earlier. And the neat thing about that is that if we take it for ourselves, we can only take like a few states. But because these guys are our vassals, these provinces are significantly cheaper to take. Alright, let's take a look at this peace deal. So we managed to get almost all of the Raj, except for these two states. because the AI does their famous thing of where they fight tooth and nail for the most random of provinces. We managed to get all of this area, cleaned up these borders a little bit. Yeah, I didn't bother taking any islands. In fact, I don't think I could have taken any islands because it looks like the US did their thing. But yeah, but other than that, we took Gibraltar, took the Raj. So now we can move on to the next step in my plan. We're gonna go down here, find which one. I think that this one will have to do, and then we're pretty much just gonna make it the exact same as this one. And now the next order of operations is preparing to kill Vichy France, because that's gonna be pretty important, as I will demonstrate later on. Alright, justification on Vichy is done, so let's not muck about. Yeah, these guys are rather weak, so it should be relatively easy. Alright, war with Vichy France, nothing fancy, we're just gonna full annex these guys. So, you're probably wondering why I attacked Vichy France. Well, beyond, you know, getting their colonial holdings, I've also wanted to get them because of this, Indochina. This area is the best area to attack China from. But we'll get there when we get there, so just be a little patient, please. The big thing that we're going to need to do is to build a supply depot right there. So this game, I'm not going to make any Space Marines, but instead I'm just going to make probably the next best thing, which are like a motorized squadron. Basically, the idea behind this squad is it goes into a battle, blows everything up, runs everyone over, and then gets out of there. This is just the first iteration of it. Eventually, I'm going to make it bigger once I get a few things unlocked. But yeah, this is a really good division that I use in a lot of my playthroughs. Planning a cheeky little operation over here in China. Nothing to see here. This focus is a pretty good focus because it gives us non-core manpower, which is pretty good. Because normally in non-core territory, you suffer from a, you know, an available manpower penalty. But with these two bonuses, you can get a pretty decent amount of manpower. Alright, now that we got the war goal on Japan, I mean, we might as well declare. Perfect timing, too, because they just declared war on the old United States. Alright, we do a little island hopping campaign, really because we have Marines, so we might as well use them. Okay, with this, we should be able to reach these guys. Without further ado, let's plan a cheeky little naval invasion and all the way here to Nagasaki. Let's finally get this naval invasion off, and hopefully this doesn't go super badly. As expected, we're getting some resistance, but it shouldn't mean much. Now let's ship all the troops over and knock out these bad boys. Let's also get some planes once we catch her in airfield. Okay, so the Japanese are putting up some fairly sizable resistance. Yeah, so I'm just pretty much going to tell these guys to just attack, see if we can break him. Japan is another one you want to defeat relatively quickly, because if you wait too long, then China is going to get like super strong and be more annoying to deal with later on. Alright, so these guys are pretty well entrenched. We're probably gonna need to make we're probably gonna need to make a couple of maneuvers on these guys. This naval invasion should go a lot better than the last. Now we get these guys all pushing. These guys pushing. Trying to extend this beachhead. Don't forget about Hokkaido. And with that successful naval landing, this war should be over at any minute. Just need to march on to Tokyo. And Tokyo is wide open. And yep, they're 98% towards capitulation. I just need to kill a few more of these guys. Or just need to take Yokohama. Oh, but this is a lovely encirclement. So many Japanese troops in here. So many Japanese troops in here. You love to see it. Oh yes, look at all those guys. There's at least There's at least 30 troops. Get everyone in there and just dogpile them. And there's the peace deal. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna give that to our Chinese vassal state. And pretty much the main thing I'm gonna do is take possibly take a few ships. But for the most part, I'm just gonna see what China is gonna do. And where'd they leave these guys alive? Okay, I genuinely have no clue. I genuinely have no clue where Japan is. Hello? Where the heck are these guys? Oh, of course that happened. So simply put, the AI does a weird thing where they'll fight you for one province, but then they won't take it. They totally did that and over Saipan, but oh well. Whatever. That war is over. On to the next one. The order of processes is gonna go as so. We're going to line up an army on this guy. We're not gonna call in our Indian vassal for reasons. Don't worry about it. And then we're gonna bring these guys in, and then these guys. And I'm just gonna tell you now, this is gonna be a long and really annoying war that I'm fixing to fight. So there's probably gonna be significant gaps in the editing. And to just show you how powerful non-core manpower is, I'm getting nearly 1 million manpower just from Japan. And this is pretty wild. Earlier, Italy attacked the Swiss, and the Swiss, they have like all these modifiers that make it so that they're harder to capitulate. They've lost literally half their provinces, but they're still alive. That is rather wild. Justification's done. Let's just do a couple of things, like deploy all these guys that I've been preparing for. And as expected, they're just gonna endlessly push on us. Yeah, but other than that, these guys have no navy, so we don't have to worry about any of that. Yep, so pretty much the plan is to wait for these guys to just deplete all their strength on us. Judging from the looks of things, that should be relatively soon. Alright, let's make a cheeky little push here and see what happens. Just got a pop-up that said Turkey joined the Comintern. I'm not so sure about that, Turkey. I'm gonna go ahead and call these guys in. Yeah, they're gonna take Hong Kong, but it's whatever. Okay. So Denmark is back, and Russia is gone. That is a giant Italy. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just do a general push. There we go. We can capitulated all of South China. Let's get some consolidation going. As per usual, the supply is rather terrible. So a button that I recommend you push is this one. This will basically make it so that, like, yeah, this won't happen. Like, this guy got pulled off of over here so he can fill up over here. Yeah, that's just annoying. I mean, they have a decent amount of troops, but they're all over here, spread out over here. So that means you might as well just, like, you know, push all along the coast. Yeah, this is just easy plays. We just got another collab off on them. So yeah, these guys are relatively close to being done. And it looks like all we need to do is just capture Beijing, and then we're done. And there we go. So yeah, so all you need to do, just in order to complete the achievement, make sure you give it to your Chinese vassal, and then submit, and then you're done. Like, I'm not playing an Iron Man, and I've already got the achievement, but as long as you do pretty much what I just did, you should have gotten go ahead and Macau my day. There's just a few more things that I want to do before I leave off the video. You guys ready for this? Boom. And boom. Oh yeah, you'll love to see it. And just like that, remember what I said about non-core manpower? We have 15 million from occupying all this. Yeah, non-core manpower is secretly a really good modifier, as it turns out. Yeah, we're getting like 4.2 million from the British Raj, aka India. We're getting 12 million from China. Like I said, dudes, this is a very good, that is a very good modifier that you shouldn't sleep on. And you get it from these two, which focuses, which gives you a total of 20. But yeah, so that's the video. That's my video on how to get the go ahead and Macau my day. But this specific strategy that I was using, but to reference a hatless spider video, this is effectively Goa head, as in the city of Goa. Go and Macau my day. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you want to see more Hearts of Iron, more EU4, or any other game that you want to see. And yeah, have a good day.